What is up, internet? Welcome back, and thank you for joining us. I know it's rough out there. If you've been following this along, this will be the last one that I am talking about my previous procedures that I've had as far as like my transition goes. And after this, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll probably make TikTok videos. I want to try it anyway, at least with the editing part. But today, we are going to be talking about my today we're going to be talking about my orchiectomy and my laser hair removal. Both of these are procedures that I've had the most recently, or they are still ongoing. And we're going to get into those. I'm going to start with the light one, which is the laser hair. If you don't have insurance covering anything, then you don't need to worry about letters or anything, but I have found that insurance can cover this procedure and will pay for parts of it. Step number one, if you have insurance, go ahead, check that out, see if they offer it, what are the criteria to register for it. Do that if it's possible. If not, then just find a laser hair place and set up a consultation. When you're looking for a laser hair place, of course, like Google reviews are going to be super important to get a feel for it. And then on top of that, you might want to look at places that offer like lifetime touch-ups or like touch-ups for a certain amount of years. That is going to be huge, because if you are male to female, then your hair isn't permanently ever going to be gone. Okay, it will keep slowly coming back. Having those lifetimes or having a few more extra years where you could come in and get that procedure done. So step number one, find a location that you trust, look at their benefits, look at what they're offering, take that consideration in, and then go for your consultation. Schedule that. Consultation is a consultation where they consultate, tell you how successful it's probably going to be, and they'll also let you know, like, hey, 80% reduction that's good. If you see 80% less hair, you are fine, and that's like your golden range where you want to be by like a few months in. So just have that expectation going in. This is not going to get rid of it forever. You would have to probably do laser, electrolysis, maybe some other stuff. I haven't had electrolysis. They literally did it one time. They did it on one hair of mine. I went in. This is when I had like my full thick beard, and the lady was like, all right, I'm going to do a test on one hair. All right, fine. That's great. So I went in. I was like, hey, why don't you just go ahead? I want to see what this is like. The lady said, yeah, that's wonderful. Come on in. We'll do that, and I'm sure it'll be the results you want. She saw me like in real life, and she went, oh no, this is way too thick. You want laser. I told her, I was like, hey, why don't you just try it? Yeah, come on, just try it. Just give me a shot. Just give it one try. Let me see what it feels like. All right, but just know that I'm not gonna be able to work on you like that. Just hit me with that shot, why don't you? She did, and it hurt like the dickens. And the fact that I had probably a couple thousand hairs there showed me that I didn't have the time nor the money to do this. That wasn't for me. Went with the laser, and I found a place that takes care of all that stuff. The consultation, I think it cost me about $2,300 to get all of my hair done. It's a lifetime warranty for me, so I can always go back there. We move over to like starting those treatments. The treatment looks like about 15-20 minutes of them zapping your face with pain in variables from getting hit by one of those like super thin like rubber bands. You know the ones. You'll find them. You know them. You've shot somebody with them. You've been shot by them. They don't hurt. But having it like on your skin, that hurt. But around like this area, that's what it was like. When we get to here though, here, here it changes. Oh my god. It gets so bad. Instead of those little ones, we move on to like those big, thick, like 1/4-inch thick boys. And somebody is like, and it hurts. I can do like 9 of these in a row and 9 of these in a row all through here. But once we get to like this area, this area, oh my god. Like I have to take a break between each shot. Like I have to reel back and just, yeah, that's good. That's spicy. So that's what the treatments are like. Tips on treatments. You can take Advil or Tylenol like 30 minutes before to help deal with that pain. Aloe after is very good. No sun ever while you're doing this treatment. You can find facial creams that have SPF in them. I suggest grabbing one of those and just putting it on every day while you are receiving this treatment. Because if your skin changes tone and gets darker, the laser is going to start burning you if they don't adjust that as well. So just keep it easy. Use an SPF. Don't get tan if it's possible. The only other things I have to say on that is that the first like 5 treatments should be about 5 weeks apart from what I understand. And then after that, they are going to start increasing in length. I got really dysphoric about that, so I worked out with my location to just be like, hey, instead of jumping from 5 weeks to 10 weeks, which is a huge jump, why don't we go 5 weeks to 6 weeks, and then 6 weeks to 7, 7 to 8, 8 to 9, 9 to 10. And that's kind of how I've worked that out to help like curve that dysphoria, because you know, you're seeing all these results and all this hair growth, and then suddenly that 10-week marker, that 10-week wait time comes around, and your hair starts to grow back, and it can make you very uncomfortable if you're really loving not having that hair. If you're paying for each single treatment, you might be okay with jumping to that big one, but I was just making payments, and at this point, I've paid it off. So I was like, you know, if I can come in here every 5 weeks, I'll still do it. I would love to do that. But it might be best for a while for me to lay off a little bit. So that was the easy procedure to talk about today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, or gentle ladies, I'm a gentle lady now. I've progressed. I've gone down the gentle timeline from being a gentle man to now I'm a gentle lady. The orchiectomy is an actual medical procedure that does require surgery. So trigger warning for all of that good stuff. If you are a guy and you click off from this, I understand. Thanks for sticking around this long. If you don't want a beard, then go get laser. However, if you are wanting to start considering SRS, then this might be a good first step. So what is an orchiectomy? Let's start there. Let's start at the beginning. Let's start at the start. An orchiectomy is where they take your pouch, your little pouch, your man pouch, and they go and they snip open a little hole in it, and then I need one more thing. They go open and they're gonna take your little man pouch, they're gonna snip open a little hole, and then they're gonna go in there and they're gonna take out your boys, right? This is an accurate representation of what the boys and the lads look like without the skin around them, okay? This is them. Scientifically accurate. Science. And then they just kind of stitch that back up and you're good. That is essentially the orchiectomy. And yet again, that goes through a consultation process, but this time, if you want insurance to cover it, they normally do. Most insurances will cover SRS if you meet certain criteria. My criteria for mine looked like me going to a therapist about 6 visits and then another therapist for 1 visit. And both of them had to write letters to my insurance that they had assessed me. I had gender dysphoria, and this was a good procedure for me. I think it took about an $8,000 procedure and knocked it down to a $2,000. And like I said, most insurances cover it. Definitely look into that if you're interested in transitioning. See different insurance that are around you that are possible, and go with the one that's going to get you the most mileage. We do another consultation. Lovely. The doctor might make some really scary jokes if you have been familiar with your guy anatomy and you've been okay with it. These jokes might hit a little bit too close to home. The surgery itself only takes about like 40 minutes. And it looked like me going back into anesthesia. So yet again, guess what we're bringing back? No eating, no drinking, no looking at pretty girls, no looking at pretty boys, no texting your mom because she might try to talk you out of it, and no bitching for at least 12 hours before because you don't want to mess up anything with the anesthesia. We get ready just like that. We go in for the surgery, me and my partner, because I can't drive myself home. They come in, they put me in an IV. I hate IVs. And then after that, by the time they're wheeling me out of the like operation waiting room, I am asleep. I remember going down the hall and then nothing else except for waking up in a wheelchair. And I just felt like a lot of padding down here. It wasn't super painful at the time. But the rest of that, gone. Don't remember anything from it. The recovery took about 2 weeks. Even after that 2 weeks, they were still like, hey, don't lift anything that's too heavy. You could pull a blood vessel, and then that would be bad, and you don't want that. So take your time, take your recovery. It is important. Don't push yourself. There is no need to, because it is not worth hurting yourself. It's never worth hurting yourself. After my recovery had started, it was about like 3 days of me just chilling, because all that anesthesia was still like kind of kicking around my body and I was feeling pretty numb. And then after that 3rd day, we hit the pain wall, where now like me moving my legs a little bit was uncomfortable. Me getting up had to be done very carefully, and I literally just like sat. I did not want to do anything. Going to the bathroom was a chore because I had all of this gauze and stuff down there. And that was the issue. After that, we moved to about a week and a half later. And at that point, everything was going really good. They do electrocauterization. So you will have a big scab down there. It will come off like scabs do. Mine was particularly nasty. I'm going to see if I can find a sound to recreate, but it was like those 2 weeks were over. I was actually feeling pretty fine. I still took like an extra week to just chill. I didn't do anything hard at work. And if I went to the gym, I was just running. They do not get rid of the skin around there. That could cause issues, but this procedure can be done by itself and still has the option to fully realize SRS later. They do a checkup about 2 to 3 weeks after to make sure that no blood is accumulating there and there's no issues. That wasn't a huge deal. I didn't have any problems with that. And from there, like, it's just healing, and now we're chilling. Why would you want to do this? Why would you want It does, I think, about 3 important things. Number 1, and these are not ranked in importance at all. Number 1, it's going to make tucking easier. If you are femme presenting, then tight pants and tight shorts are part of femme fashion. So being able to tuck comfortably and keep it there has been very big, and I do enjoy that part a lot. Um, if I feel like things are tight, then I can just move stuff around easily, and I don't have to worry about a whole lot of discomfort. Um, the next one is if you are on HRT, then getting rid of those is going to stop you from producing testosterone. This means that you don't even need T blockers. Male pattern baldness is no longer an issue because of that. My third reason, no more kids. I never wanted kids. I view that as a huge plus. If I was ever to get a kid, I would adopt. So the fact that I don't have to worry about that is pretty reassuring. Um, Matter of fact, the whole procedure itself is just really reassuring. Knowing that I'm not going to revert back to being more masculine, knowing that, I can fit into women's clothes more comfily, and knowing that, I'm not a person that can get somebody pregnant anymore has all been hugely stress relieving. Just because I feel like I'm more in my body now. I feel like these are things that I should or should not be able to do. That is kind of it. If you stuck around this long, thank you so much for hanging out. I am going to see about making some different content. I might do TikTok stuff. I'm not sure. I would love to react to some transphobes. I feel like that's fun. And yeah, so thank you for sticking around. And be safe. Remember, it's rough out there.